Good evening, everyone. Episode 30.
Oh, is it 30?
Yep.
I didn't know it was 30.
30. No, it's Mike and Stace, unapologetically unfiltered, coming to you live from our dining room.
Yeah.
Because it is November now. We posted a reel how we prepare to do our podcast. It involves a few beers, which there you go. There you go. Open up the beer. This is how we roll. We just got a ring notification that there's somebody at our front door. It is 8:30 at night. There better not be a motherfucker at our front door.
No. Oh, it was just a car going by.
Okay.
All is well. All is well.
So there better not be anybody coming to our front door at 8:30 at night because they will get shot.
Right.
So anyhow, so episode 30. It's starting to get a little cool out. Clock's changed tomorrow, so it'll definitely be cool out. So the sitting outside, doing our podcast, at the fire, probably coming to an end.
Yeah.
For the season.
Yeah.
We've been working hard on building a shed outside, so haven't had a lot of time to do other things, but we're back. We're back to discuss these fucking commercials.
They're horrendous.
I have never seen it so bad.
Oh, it's definitely bad this time, for sure.
If you have, what was your guy, 2 and 2? Be back in 2 and 2?
Oh, remember? Chuck Woolery.
Chuck Woolery. So if you have 2 minutes and 2 seconds of commercials, almost all of it is fucking ads for either Trumpy or UG.
Right. Imagine the amount of money that they are literally spending on these nonsensical ads and these commercials that, I don't know, when I'm in my car and it comes on, I literally turn the volume off at this point. I cannot stand to hear it. This money could be put to better use for sure. Because I honestly feel like the majority of people, we already know who we're voting for.
Yeah.
Regardless as to who says on what commercial.
Yeah, I don't really know who, I guess I don't know anybody that changes their mind based off of one of these fucking commercials, based off of one of these fucking ads that we get in the mail every fucking day.
Valid.
I don't look at them.
Text messages?
Phone
calls?
Yes. Text messages, the phone calls. Who the fuck changes their mind based off of that? Because, let's face it, everybody takes a little snippet of what somebody says and they twist it to their benefit.
For sure.
And I don't really care, what side you're on. That's what they do. So who the fuck changes their mind based off of this shit?
And if you do, you really have no business voting. Oh. Honestly, you need to do your research. If you hear something and you question it, look it up. You're going to have to get down the rabbit hole. You're going to have to read a bunch of stuff. But essentially, you can piece together what's factual and what isn't.
Yeah, because all it does is annoy the piss out of me.
Oh, my God. When the news is on in the morning and we're getting ready for work, and I hear her voice, I want to scream. I'm over it.
I figured out the lifeline, though. Non-local news channels.
True.
So cable TV channels,
True.
if you will. So we were watching something on the Food Network. Mm-hmm. There wasn't a single political commercial on. It was fucking
glorious.
Great.
It was glorious.
Loved it.
Yeah.
And then today we were actually watching Fox News.
Sure.
And they only had a couple commercials on, and they were both conservative commercials, but they had regular commercials on because we heard about the as seen on TV battery buddy thingamajiggy. I don't know what the hell it was. Where you can organize all your batteries. I'm like, okay, that's great. I saw a commercial. I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Yeah. And not about the product. It was just that it was a regular fucking commercial. Yes. Remember the guy, the OxyClean guy? Oh, yeah. That passed away? Yeah. So energetic. Yeah. About it, because you would see commercials, he would do commercials. Yeah. On there. And then we saw the one for the fucking, the new bra. The sports bra. I was like, what is this? I didn't care because... You didn't care. You were like, does it matter? I was like, no. It was not a political commercial. Couple days, though. Couple days will be. And then it'll be all Christmas. Which I'm here for, so yeah. It's Christmas now. We heard... Oh, it's Christmas for me now. The one radio station was doing a weekend preview. That's yes. Was that what it was? Yeah, I was so excited. I celebrated. I was like, yes. So that was nice. Yeah. As I sit here with a literal Christmas sweatshirt on. Right. North Pole University. Hell yeah. And our babies have their Christmas collars on. Oh yeah. Ted doesn't. Well, he wouldn't let me put one on because I did consider it, to be honest. Ted does not lose his Harley collar. I consider it. Do not touch Ted's Harley collar. I won't do it. We're getting off topic. So, commercials. So, yeah. Here's where we're at. I'd love at this point to be able to see every other commercial, but it's not even every other commercial. No. It's every fucking commercial. Yeah. That comes on is something political. And it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. Yeah. And like I said, I don't know a single person that would change their mind based off of a commercial. Right. And, some of the topics, like some of the commercials are very cringeworthy. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, yeah. When they talk about, they have this kid on there, and I'm assuming she's adult age now. At this point. But how, was it her stepdad that was molesting her? She got pregnant at 12. Why is this on TV? Right. It's could you imagine explaining to a 5-year-old that, you're a 5-year-old that you're watching TV with, trying to explain this to them? Yeah. This shouldn't be on. No. It absolutely should not be on TV. And then you have... I don't mean to laugh because abortion is a very serious issue. But, and I've realized that but negates everything I just said. As per Dr. Phil. But the latest commercial that I see, they're talking about abortion, how Trump's going to take away, rights, blah, 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 right. blah, blah. A lot of people are afraid of that. Like, it's a bunch of old ladies. Right. That can't have fucking kids. They can't have them anyways. But they're talking about losing their rights. Come on now. What fucking rights are you losing? Well, to be honest with you, this is a big concern, I guess, for a lot of people. It's certainly not a concern for myself. It's not a concern for others that I know. But for a lot of people, I guess this is a concern. However, when we were watching Fox News this morning, I did pick up a little snippet from a woman that was speaking about abortion, and she said that she found it, I can't remember what the word was that she used, but the fact that that's what they're trying to sell is their main selling point, is that abortion, your body, blah, 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 right? She's like, none of us care about that. That is kind of demeaning to us women, that you feel like that is the number one topic that we care about. Most of us don't. Most of us are well aware of our bodies and in control of our bodies. And that's the least of my worries, to be honest with you. There are a lot of other women's concerns. And the fact that that's one of the biggest selling points is kind of sickening, that's where we're at. And that's really all she has to offer. What about the price of groceries? Oh, she's going to put an end to price gouging. Fuck you. You're not going to put an end to price gouging.
And the fact that I'm getting upset about it. The fact that the left, some people that are that attack you for she's this, she's going to do this and she's going to do that. What are you talking about? She has had the power to do this for the past 3.5 years. Are you dumb? Are you naive? Because she hasn't. And she specifically said that there's nothing, when asked what she would do different, nothing comes to mind. Nothing comes to mind. And she has sat in on a lot of these meetings and a lot of these decisions. She has had...
Oh, the clock.
Yeah. She actually has had a say.
She admitted.
She did admit. And the fact that she's saying that she wouldn't do anything different, people, this is, if she gets in there, and I do realize that the majority of people that listen to this think the same way that we do. So, if she gets in there, the next 4 to 8 years is literally going to look like the past 4. And honestly, if you subtract Trumpy's 4, the 8 prior to that, we can't afford it.
And it's not, so does price gouging happen? Yes. Price gouging does happen. Is it as rampant as she's making it out to be? No, I don't believe that it is. She says she's going to cut down on price gouging. Well, how about you do what Trumpy did and you, to term his phrase, drill baby drill.
Right.
And you lower the cost of gas.
Sure.
When you lower the cost of gas, the vast majority of products that get to the store get there by truck.
Mm-hmm.
By truck, that runs off of fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you lower that price, then it costs less to get it there.
Okay, you're right.
So your whole price gouging thing...
It's kind of null.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that everybody wants $15 to flip burgers. And you and I just discussed this the other day. Okay, let's discuss this. Let's get into it. Think about it. This is simple applied mathematics, which I would hope that every single one of us took in class, right? It's simple addition and subtraction. If you're not going to pay somebody that was making $7.25 an hour, $15. How many people have gone into McDonald's and now you have to order on a kiosk, which, listen, I myself love the kiosk because there are options that we now have that I wasn't even aware that we had before. Mm-hmm. So give me that kiosk. Don't even have to interact with a human being. Sometimes we order it on our phone to go pick it up. Mm-hmm. But if your staff before was 10 and you were paying them $7.25, and so now you have to pay 15. Well, now you have a staff of 5 and a kiosk. So yeah, I mean, you're going to get your $15 an hour to flip your burgers, but we're also going to minimize our staff. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, the product has been minimized. I don't think that I used to love good old McDonald's cheeseburger and chocolate chip frappuccino every now and again. It's a special treat. It was more often than I'd like to admit. Yeah. But anywho, that's really neither here nor there. That burger is now a sample, and it's double. Mm-hmm. So that's a no for me. So the fact that if you stand back and you look at your numbers, and didn't they say that they had, in the past 2 quarters, they have actually lost money, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I mean, I don't even run a business, but this is pretty freaking obvious to me. You're paying people that, $15 an hour to flip burgers. And so now we order on a kiosk, and your product is fucking trash. McDonald's is trash. Wendy's is trash. So there you go. So yes, I'm sure there's a little bit of corporate greed going on. There is also, everybody wants $15 to fucking make coffee and flip burgers.
Well, yeah, I mean, so let's say.
Oh, and then a tip as well.
So let's say you have, a staff of 30.
Sure.
And, right, you had your minimum wage, which a minimum wage is not a living wage. There's a difference.
We can get into that.
Between a minimum wage and a living wage. So it's minimum wage. So you have your minimum wage, and now all of a sudden you up that minimum wage. So you had your staff of 30, and say it took 3 people at various times to run the front.
Sure.
So you've lost, you put the kiosk in, so, okay, those 3 people are gone now because now you have to pay 15. Well, you're still in a hole.
Okay.
So gas has gone up. Electric has gone up.
Mm-hmm.
It costs more to get the product there.
Sure.
So you're going to have to not only raise the cost, but shrink the product.
Mm-hmm. Shrinkflation.
To break even.
Right.
And Mickey D's ain't even breaking even.
In the past 2 quarters, which speaks volumes.
They're losing money.
Right.
So, but the economy's doing great.
Yeah.
How is the economy? The economy is not doing great. The fact that inflation has slowed, does that mean something? Yes, that does mean something. But in the grand scheme of things, the bottom line is shit costs more still.
Sure.
Yes, you've slowed inflation, so things are not going to continue to go up.
Mm-hmm. But they're not coming back down.
But they're up.
Mm-hmm.
So they haven't come back down. So until you forget about corporate greed and price gouging and all that, the root of the problem is it costs more for a trucker to get you the product that you need.
Definitely.
I also heard on on the news this morning. It's great. Everybody should watch Fox News every once in a while. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. You should watch Fox News every once in a while because you get to hear the other side of things. So for the farmers out there, the Biden administration put a cap on the royalties that they can get from their gas wells.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the farmers aren't making the money either, so they have to charge more.
Sure.
Which, hello,
right.
means we have to pay more.
Of course.
So
everybody's got a bottom line. Everybody has to meet their bottom line.
When Trump was in, there wasn't that cap. So they could get their royalties, so they could pass on the savings, which they did, to the consumer.
Sure. I know. I know.
It's very frustrating. I know we got off the topic of the commercials, but that's one from the commercials.
Yeah, but it kind of, yeah. And how about the little snippets that we see, like in the reels and whatnot when we're on Facebook, right?
Yep.
And this actually, what I'm going to bring up, was actually a reel as well. And it was just part 1 and then part 2, right? So part 1 was Kamala was talking at her rally. And somebody said, Jesus is king. And of course, in her ghetto voice or whatever, she was like, I think you at the wrong rally. Same thing was said at JD's rally. The man didn't miss a beat. And he goes, yes, he is. Continued on as if yes, he is. And we literally want this demon who denies our Lord literally in front of not only however many people, because I don't count how many people are at these folks' rallies, right? But she denied our Lord in front of all those people, but it was also, we saw it, how many other people saw it, and there are people who want to put this in office? No. We literally need to all, I know a lot of folks have already voted. Look, at this point, it is what it is. However you have put your vote in or are going to, it's in. But it's time that we stand up and we take our country back. We have let them walk all over us and make us walk on eggshells for too fucking long. It is time for us to take our country back. This is America. We stand for something. Or at least we used to. This is the land of the free.
The land of the free because of the brave.
Exactly.
And contrary to popular belief, well, actually I take that as a sign of pride now. We are garbage.
Oh, yeah, we're definitely garbage. We're garbage.
We're deplorable garbage.
Yeah. Hey, we are whatever. If that's what they consider us, then it is what it is. I mean, do you really want to know what I consider you? You want to call us garbage? You call us whatever you want to call us. But because we're not bowing down to your way of thinking, where we all should be, how is this new, what we heard whenever we were listening to that audio book.
The New World Order.
Yes, where we all just put into one pot, and it's all for the greater good. The greater good of who? The fucks that don't want to work? Is that who this greater good is for? Because my life doesn't change regardless. I'm still going to work hard. You are still going to work hard. Everybody that we know is still going to work hard. So essentially this greater good is for folks who don't want to put into the pot. So we all have to put into the pot to take care of others. You ain't my kid. I don't need to fucking take care of you.
My greater good is our retirement. I mean, I don't want to take care of anybody else.
What we have here is
we already have to take care of other people because people fucking don't work.
Right.
You know, all these. So they throw out all these figures about the illegals, you know, that come in and how much they cost. I don't think people realize that one person that you're watching on or listening to on the Dr. Phil.
Right.
A younger kid said, you know, what there shouldn't be, you know, any borders. Everybody should just be able to come in, you know, whatever. I want a fucking universe that kid's living in.
Well, he's clearly that next generation who is for the greater good.
So if somebody comes in, you know, illegally, let's take a step back. So if somebody comes into this country legally, they go through the process. We don't have to pay for them.
Right. And that's a hefty process that they have to go through.
They're coming in, they're working.
For sure. They're doing all the steps.
They're paying in to, you know, so we don't have to pay for them. So, okay, so you have those. Mm-hmm. Then you have the illegals. So the illegals come in and, okay, so this young kid wants all of them to come in. Hey,
just open borders. Just anybody can go anywhere and it's a free-for-all.
So you come in and what are you going to do with them? Mm-hmm. So they have to be housed. Mm-hmm. And whether it's, you know, in migrant camp, you know, whatever. So, okay, let's say it's in a migrant camp.
Sure.
So, well, who's paying for that? Who's paying for the electricity? Who's paying for the water? Who's paying for the gas? Who's paying for the food?
And their cell phones. Right. We are.
So,
but
what am I missing here? We're paying for all of that. If we hold them and try them to ship them back, okay, so we're still paying for the food. We're paying for the gas. We're paying for the blah, blah, blah. We're paying for all that. And we're paying taxpayer dollars for a judge to rule on if they should get the boot or not. Whereas we also have the flip side of it with Trumpy. They come over, you kick them the fuck out.
Right.
Then the only tax dollars you're paying are the Border Patrol.
Right.
Get them the fuck out.
This is also coming from people who want their student loans paid for. Don't go to school then. If you cannot afford it, don't go to school. I mean, it's pretty goddamn simple.
These are the same motherfuckers that don't return their buggies.
Oh, dear.
They don't return their shopping carts.
They don't return their shopping carts.
Same motherfuckers.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Guaranteed. They don't return their shopping carts.
I just don't get this whole, I don't know, the whole all for the greater good. It's all for the greater good. The greater good of who? Okay, we're Gen X. There was no such thing as a greater good. We didn't even fucking have parents at home. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Ever hear a latchkey? Yeah. The greater good. There was no such thing. We've been feral since we've been 8 years old. Yeah, I don't know. Of course, we're going off topic again. Shocking. Saturday night.
Friday night. Saturday. Wait, what
Yeah,
day
no,
is it?
it's
It's Saturday. Oh, we're going riding tomorrow. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's all good. It's all good. It's going to be beautiful. We'll take it. Yeah.
November, going riding. Yeah. Hey.
How many more wake-ups do we have until this is over?
Oh, there we go. Okay, we're back from brief pause. Apparently, Stace didn't like the bomb. What the hell's wrong with the clock bomb?
I was like, hey, no. Like, because we're competing. We're competing with the bomb of the clock.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Oh, jeez.
Back on topic, Cub.
You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
You know. I need a couple more days.
Couple more days. So, back to the topic. Commercials.
Come on, yep. Commercials.
So, we're in Pennsylvania. You got 27 years in office, Bob Casey running against Dave McCormick.
Dave McCormick's a little bit.
Motherfucker lives in Connecticut.
Dave McCormick does?
Yes.
Oh. Well, he's a little bit, he's way too right.
That's why Dr. Oz lost.
Oh, we're not going to get started on Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz didn't. Mm-hmm. He used his parents' or in-laws' address so that he can run for Senate in Pennsylvania.
I love Dr. Oz.
I know you love Dr. Oz, but what the fuck? Why can't we get a Pennsylvania Republican to fucking run for Senate? What are you looking at me for?
I volunteer you. As tribute.
Volunteer me as... I'll fucking do it.
Do it.
Wait, I just said that on...
You did.
Recording.
Do it.
We can't do it now.
You can't do it now,
Next
but
time.
seriously.
But why? I don't understand.
No.
Why we cannot get... And what? I guess I know why. It's
Greenbacks.
all about the money.
Yes, it is. And everything always circles back to the money.
Mm-hmm.
Just like money bought the last election. I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
It's all about the money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that irritates me, and I see that. And I think it's funny that, and I made a post about this the other day. Casey knows that he's in jeopardy of losing his Senate seat, so he started to position himself as an independent. He started saying how he bucked Biden on this, but he supported Trump on this. And they have a couple. One's a Democrat and one's a Republican.
Yeah.
And saying, but they live in perfect harmony and blah, blah, blah,
sure
blah, blah. And, they disagree on some things, but they agree on the fact of Casey because he's an independent. He's not a fucking independent. He's a Dem. Bottom line, he's a Dem.
Right.
He sold out to the Dems.
Right. Well, I mean, typically they do sell their souls. Mm-hmm. Let's discuss how Trumpy and JD both did a interview, like a podcast with Joe Rogan. Trumpy gave 3 hours. JD gave 3 hours and 15 minutes. And good old Cackalack, 0. She wouldn't do it. There were too many stipulations. Does she think she's some kind of queen or something? Oh, she probably needed the questions in advance so she could come up with the transcript, have somebody in her ear, and she needed her moral support pet, Waltzy.
Well, from what I read, she said she would do it. Mm-hmm. Stipulations.
Of course.
It wouldn't be in Rogan's studio. It would be in some location that she So yes, she would have her emotional support dog, Waltzy. She would have
her enlarged earrings.
Yeah, her enlarged earrings.
Yeah, so she could have.
So Obama would be in.
I was going to say, what's his face in her ear?
Yeah.
That motherfucker's been in everybody's ear for a really long time. Take a seat. We have seen you long enough. You fucked up enough, don't you think? Take a seat. We're done. Your time here is done.
I see.
But apparently it's not, because the left go ahead and let this circus commence, as it were. They can wear blue hair, and they can be binary, and they can be whatever the fuck they want with this circus. And so that's why they vote for it. I'll let you go on. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
I do get concerned. So obviously there's a lot that we don't know.
Sure.
The inner workings of things that go on behind the scenes. There's a lot, that we don't know. And the one thing that does concern me is, you look at UG and, all the past Dems that come out to support her. Obama being the most, Obama and Clinton, coming out and they're campaigning for her.
He too looks like a weekend at Bernie's.
He does. Who's coming out for Trump?
Nobody. You know what?
His whole past administration, the vast majority of his past cabinet isn't endorsing him.
You throwing him under the bus?
No, I'm not throwing him under. It concerns me. Like, what do we not know?
There's a lot that we don't know. There's a lot. But wait a second.
Why are people not endorsing him?
But there's a lot that we don't know either way, right?
I'm not throwing him under the bus. I want to know.
This is
why are people not endorsing him?
I really don't know. And to be honest with you, I really don't care. Think back, right? The best predictor of future behavior is past relevant behavior. We have gotten a snippet of each one, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen 4 years of Trumpy, and we've seen 4 years of this shit show.
Oh, I'm voting for
I know you are.
No matter what. But that concern,
it's a valid concern.
I think it's a valid question. I think it's a question that needs to be asked.
For sure. But there are a lot of things that we just don't
want the bullshit, talk around answer. Like I said in one of my other posts, I would love to have any candidate for any level of government sit down and have an interview where the only thing they could say was yes or no.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Nothing else.
I completely agree with that, because you can't skirt around it. It's either yes or no. Like, there is no but, maybe, what have you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
I would love to be able to do that. I would do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
do you also want to... Were you done with that? Or were we...
If you want me to be done with it.
Oh, if you don't...
What did you want to talk about?
Oh, I want to talk about what we also saw today, that commercial. That commercial where, I can't remember, was it Julia Roberts? And where the women were essentially like, this was like 1940 or whatever, when we didn't have any rights. I don't know when women's rights came out, whatever.
Commercial, what are you talking about?
Where the women went in and they each voted, but it was like...
Where they were lying to their old men about
who they were voting for. It's okay if you vote for someone different.
Oh, come on now.
I felt a certain type of way about that as a woman. So, Cadillacs, all of her things to try to get some of us on board, she's pushing us further away. Anything that she's trying to do that would potentially even get us to think about it. First of all, you've now told us that the most important thing to us should be abortion. Girl, I'm old. Like, I've had my children. That is not a concern for me at all. or that I'm supposed to be like secretive and go in there and vote for her just because, I have a voice. It's actually a very loud voice, and I don't do anything that I don't want to do. Like if I wanted to vote for her, I would tell you, and I would.
And I would tell you.
Right. You couldn't pay me to vote for her at this point. To be honest with you, you couldn't even pay me to vote for her. Because the things that she's doing is she wants to turn the page, right? She wants to move forward. She's taking us back. She's taking all of us women back to where we don't have rights and we don't have a voice. Fuck you, Kamala.
I would love to see her attempt, because it would only be an attempt, to sit down with face to face with Putin. Sit down face to face with Kim Jong-un from North Korea.
Right. She's not. How's she going to do that? First of all, she's going to be like, well, I need a transcript of what we're going to talk about. Right. Then she's going to be like, well, here's what we're going to do it. Here's how much time you're going to get. I need to wear my large earrings. Obama needs to be there. And my emotional support pet. Mm-hmm. Girl, that's not how this works.
She can't do it.
Oh, my God. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Hillary had more of a standing, and she was more of a respectful woman than this human being. If we're going to call her that. And she thinks she has a chance. That is laughable. And if she wins, I will 1,000% tell you that was rigged. 1,000%. It was rigged last time.
This country's doomed.
Oh, my God. They threw Pappy Joe under the bus like it was nobody's business. You want to talk about somebody who's going to secretly go and vote for somebody else. I bet you he freaking wrote Trump's name down.
He probably did.
He probably did. They threw him under the bus like it was nobody's business. Like he was irrelevant, which he is.
Right. We talk about commercials, and there's a commercial, that talks about, we're on the brink of World War III. We are. We aren't even respected, let alone feared,
right,
anymore.
Right.
That's a problem.
For sure.
Because other countries, even if they're not respected, they're feared.
Right.
Because of what they can do. And we're not even feared anymore. And I blame that on this current administration.
And the previous one prior to Trump as well.
The whole Afghanistan withdrawal. No. What, and then I don't care if you support the war in Ukraine or you don't support the war in Ukraine. The amount of money and weapons that we are giving Ukraine, we are essentially going to war with Russia. What the fuck are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck are you doing this?
Right.
And then you got, Putin over there, whose biggest ally is Xi of China.
Mm-hmm.
Our biggest competitor, essentially. And then who does China support? North Korea. Trump called him the Rocket Man, Kim Jong-un. And he's always, testing out, rockets and stuff like that. What the fuck are we doing?
Right.
We're trying to, act, behind the scenes bullshit where, we're not respected. We're not feared. We need to get that back.
For sure.
Because the only way you prevent, these wars from happening is out of respect and fear.
And they respected and feared Trump because he was like, look, this is what we're going to do. He's like, we're either going to do it this way or we're not doing it at all. And then they didn't do it. And he's like, no, we're not doing it. And he didn't do it. Like people piss me off because he's egotistical and he's that, this and that. Yeah, he built an entire empire. He didn't become a multi-millionaire, if not billionaire, just by sitting around and doing nothing. He's a hard worker. Like, he's not dumb. This is a very highly intelligent man, right? And
you want me to pause it?
Oh my gosh.
So that you don't hear the bong? Oh,
the bong is done. It was a very minimal bong. Well, it's either that or the crickets in that. So, yeah, no, seriously, back to what we were talking about, though. And Trump didn't take any shit. Like, he was serious. And this is why he cleaned our country up and had it running well when he did. And then, we lost all these jobs under Trump. Look, you and I have discussed this before as well. The guy was damned if he did and damned if he didn't. They fucking released that fucking government virus on us. And that was released. And that was manufactured. 100%. They did that to screw him over because they were pissed that he won. We as American people, us garbage, we're not stupid. We're not nearly as stupid as I don't give a fuck who walks around in a dress and who doesn't. It's so much, life in this country is so much more than that. And people need to wisen up to that, right?
Yeah, well, Putin actually said at the start of this election, back when Creepy Joe was running, that he wanted Creepy Joe to win because he knew what he would do.
Right, he's weak.
He didn't want Trump to win because he didn't know what Trump would do.
Right.
Trump's a wild card. He's a variable. There was a snippet of an interview, and I wish I could remember who it was that they were talking about, but it was someone in the Middle East, and they were threatening the U.S. or whatever, and Trump said basically, and like I said, if I can find the interview, I'll share it. Mm-hmm. But he told the person, look, basically, I know where you live. And instead of saying, I know where you live, he sent him a fucking picture of his house.
Trump is a savage.
And
then there was that.
Needless to say, the person didn't act.
Yes.
Right. That was it. And Trump, the funny thing is, about that snippet of an interview,
yeah.
Trump was just so nonchalant about it.
Well, he really is. Like,
he was just like, well, just send him a picture of his house.
Right. The thing with her is she says a lot of nothing and says nothing. He says a lot, and if you pick it out, you can make out what he's actually saying. Yep. And he's actually, I feel like he's probably a really personable guy, and he's really hilarious, to be honest with you. All I know is this. I can only base my personal female vote on what I know the country has been the past 4 years and the 4 years prior to that. And I felt a hell of a lot safer as a country. And groceries weren't ridiculous. Just life was better those 4 years. Mm-hmm. And if you didn't have a job those 4 years, that's on you because they're working jobs. You worked the whole time. I worked the whole time. If you didn't work, it's because you didn't want to. Because there were jobs.
You're going to get under both administrations. So if you haven't already voted, and you're going to go on Tuesday and vote,
sure,
you know what you're going to get. Forget about all the ads that you hear on TV that you get, on your phone in the mail. You know what you're going to get,
right?
Because
and if you're unsure,
we've had almost 4 years of what you're going to get if you elect Kamala. We know what we had with 4 years, when Trump. So here's your choice.
Right.
This is one of the rare opportunities where you know what you're going to get.
Right.
And which is better.
Especially here in PA, you need to vote. Everybody keeps talking about this red wave. Rah, 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 rah. Go be part of that red wave.
Yeah,
I want to see stickers.
We can't have Philly fuck us.
Philly will fuck us.
Because unless all of us get out there, and for Pennsylvania, one of the most I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, but it actually gave me hope for Allegheny County.
Sure.
And that was this last election process that went through when the 12-year-old in
Marata. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, her.
When she won. She ran against Joe Rockey, a Republican, and she just beat him. That didn't happen before.
It was
that's not something that happens in Allegheny County.
Right.
A Democrat doesn't just beat a Republican. She just beat him. So that means people are starting to
wisen up. Listen, it matters. This matters.
Every vote fucking matters.
Yes, it does.
Go out and vote.
Yes, it does. It matters. And if you're sick of what we've seen, vote red. 100%. And I don't think that we're going to go wrong with Trumpy and JD. And JD, if you have the chance to look up his podcast that he did with Joe Rogan, and I know that we've all seen with him and Waltzy, the debate. This guy is, I think that he'll really be able to turn this around. Trumpy will get in there. He's going to be able to get the ball rolling, and then JD can take it over for the next 8 years. Or DeSantis, whoever.
Right.
And I really feel like we can actually take this country back. Look, we all really just want to be safe. We want to be able to afford life. We want a safe country for our children, our grandchildren, right? This is the pathway to safety. Make America great again. Make America safe again. We can get RFK on board. We're going to make America healthy again. This man is highly intelligent as well. He gets in there, part of Trumpy's administration. I really feel like we can make a difference.
Yes, I agree. And selfishly, I got to take my one shot at Waltzy because, I love to take shots at Waltzy. But, I mean, this motherfucker, he's from Minnesota. He's supposedly been hunting for, since he was a teenager, but he can't load his fucking shotgun.
Right.
Then he was a high school football coach, and he fucking didn't know what a pick six was. I mean, come on now. I was listening to the Penn State game. They had a pick six, and what did I immediately think? After I thought of Dad, and I was like, how happy he'd be.
Yeah. I
was like, yeah. Waltzy probably doesn't even know what the fuck that
is. Waltzy would be like, what is that?
Dumb motherfucker.
Yeah, you'd have to ask Obama.
But all right.
Anywho,
I think that's.
We covered a lot tonight.
We covered a lot. Covered a lot. That was like a mind dump of the.
Well, it's been a couple weeks.
Past couple weeks.
For sure.
And, I'm just trying to, get everything out there. Holy shit.
And if we don't, I just would like to say something prior to wrapping this up. If we do not get to do another one, which it's Saturday, so I don't know that we will between now and, of course, Tuesday's a work day and whatnot, and then
we should try to do one.
Tuesday
night.
I would just like Tuesday night, but I would just like to say that, I'm going to wake up Tuesday morning and thoughts, prayers will be going to Trumpy and his team. Fight, fight, fight. And when we see every last state turn red, it'll be like Christmas morning.
There you go.
Yep.
All right.
We're thinking of you, Trump.
With that, Michael Stace, signing off.
Have a good week, all. Bye.